What's up, guys? I'm gonna make a controversial video here that probably a few of you is gonna leave some comments down here saying, oh, that's no good, you shouldn't do that. And yeah, you're probably right, but I feel this video just needed to be made, mainly because I couldn't find a video about it online. I searched everywhere and I just cannot find a video on YouTube about this. Before I started doing this a few months back, I wanted to research it, but I couldn't really find anything on it, so that's why I'm making this video. I'm going to stay right up front. I don't advise anyone to do this, but truth be told, I'm sure a lot of you already are. But then there's a lot of folks out there that don't know. So, disclaimer, if you do this and something happens, you're on your own, because I told you not to. Just showing you what I do. So first off, what this video is going to be about, it's going to be about two things. One is about charging a regular lipo with a regular 4-cell lipo with high voltage charge. I use a Turnigy AccuCell 6 charger, and it's got a lithium polymer and a high voltage, and I'm charging mine with the high voltage. It only gives it don't even give a whole volt extra, but it does give a little bit extra. Anyway, and the other part of the video I'm going to talk about is how to use a regular 4-cell lipo like this to run your TV if the power goes out and your computer. So we'll get into that toward the end. Alright, but like I say, I researched and researched and I couldn't find anything about this, because what happened was I watched one of Joshua Bardwell's videos, I think it was his, and I heard him mentioning something about Vanover. I think it's Alex Vanover, the young blunt-headed kid that does so good. He had blown a battery up by overcharging the thing, and I think he was talking about high voltage charge. And that got me curious. So I did find that video of what had happened, but they didn't really go into no detail. But what I did find out was that he charged it with high voltage, which probably would have been fine. But what he did then, what he did was charge it with 5-cell volts. He charged a 4-cell battery and tricked the charger into thinking it was a 5-cell. So it wouldn't register that it was a 5-cell until you get the voltage high enough. So he had to charge it with high voltage to get it that one extra volt to where it thought it was a 5-volt. Then he could switch it over into the 5-volt charger. I mean a 5-cell charger. And then he charged a 4-cell just like if it was a 5-cell. That's why it blew up. Like I say, I don't recommend you do this, but it does help. It helps a lot. And as far as I can tell, I've been doing it for several months now. I can't see any adverse effects on my lipos if you treat them right. I charge them all to high voltage charge, which puts it at 17.4 instead of 16.8. The drone handles it fine. It gives me almost a minute more flight time, and it's just worth it to me. I don't leave my batteries charged up like that. As soon as I charge them up, I go fly them. Run them down to storage voltage, maybe just a little bit lower. Usually around 15 volts is where I stop flying. Alright, let me show you how to do it. It's kind of dark in here, so we'll just have to show you. Maybe you can see, I don't know. This is your start button and the tap. When you first plug it up, it's saying lipo balance charge. We don't want that. What we want to do is hit this button over here, then change it. Let me zoom in now so you can see what I'm doing. We want to change it. Wait a minute, I think I went the wrong way. Lithium high volt. Okay. Then we want to change the amperage down to 1.5 because I'm running 1500 batteries. Hit OK. Then we want to change it to 4-cell. Hit OK. Now this battery's already been charged to high voltage. It just got done, but we're going to hit it again. Battery check. And then it's going to say warning, this is a high voltage charge. Hit it again. Now you can see it's already at 17.39, 17.4. So it's just balancing itself out right there, which is pretty much already done. It won't take but just a few seconds, and then or a minute or two, and it'll click back off because it's done already. I charge all my batteries like that now. Haven't had any problems. I'm sure I might someday, but I hadn't yet. Alright, now let's go to the other thing I was telling you about. We have power outages here pretty regular. We live off in the woods. Trees fall all the time on the power line, and you might be sitting here at 8 o'clock at night and the power goes out. Well, you know a tree fell on it. You call the power company. Well, it takes them 2 hours to fix the thing. Well, I don't want to sit here for no 2 hours in the dark with no TV and computer. So I had an old power inverter, 350 watt power inverter, and I had a car battery. So I tried that. Let me show you what I got. It didn't work. Right there's my car battery I use. Oh, and let me go back and say that yeah, I use a car battery to charge my batteries on my lipos, because that charger I got there didn't come with no power cord except for them jumper cables. That was the only way. I don't have a power source for it. But what I do is I did have a good battery, and I have a good battery charger over here, an automatic one that goes up and down on its own as the battery needs charging. I leave it hooked to it all the time and charging. So it's automatic. When it's fully charged, it ain't drawing no amps over here on the charger at all. So I always get pretty consistent charging that way. Now, back to what I'm saying about the TV. I've got this power inverter here. You can see my TV is huge. It's a huge TV. And I run a computer on it, hooked to it. Now, when the power goes out, I hook this power inverter here to the TV and my computer. And at first I tried hooking that battery right there to it, and it just wouldn't do it. My TV would come on and go right back off. So I ended up taking one of these 4-cell lipos here, hooked it to it. That's why I put an end here on this to my inverter there. Put this end on it. You just hook it right to your battery here. Okay. That would run. You see, that's done finished. Anyway, you hook that to it, and that would run my TV for about 4 or 5 minutes, and then the battery would be down to storage voltage, and I would have to unplug it. Well, that ain't long enough for nothing. So what it is, though, this is 14 volts where that battery over there is only 12. The 14 volts is enough to run my TV off that power inverter. 16 volts, I mean. 16 volts. The 16 volts is enough to run it, where the 12 volt battery wasn't. So what I ended up doing, I made an end here that split. So this is how I hook that up. I have the battery, my car battery, hooked to the charger, and it's hooked to a 4-cell lipo, and it's split right here, you see. Alright, and that runs over to my power inverter. So now when I flick a button on, my power inverter comes on, which will run my TV and stuff. Now what's happening is, this is 16 volts. It's enough to power it. That 12 volt battery is not. But since I'm got my battery hooked to the charger, and the charger is charging this 16 volt battery, it's only charging 1 cell at a time, see? So it's keeping it at 16 volts. So that'll let me run my TV for almost 2 hours before I've run that battery down and that battery down, enough that I have to unplug them. So that usually gets me through any storm. I hope y'all followed that, because it's kind of complicated, but it works. Alright guys, I hope I didn't ruffle too many feathers about the overcharging your lipos, because I know it's very dangerous. Very dangerous. But we're only talking about not even a full volt. We're only talking about 8/10 of a volt more. But that little 8/10 of a volt helps out a lot, especially when you've got an old tired battery. Now I wouldn't do that to a damaged battery, but it works good on all the lipos that I'm using right now. If you want to leave a bad comment, go ahead. I won't I won't get mad at you, but I'm sure a lot of you are already doing it, and I just wanted to make this video because they is just like me. I mean, I couldn't find no information about it, so I had to just do it and see what happened. And I've been doing it now for 4 or 5 months, and I ain't had any problems. But if I had found a video to watch, then I would at least knew. But there ain't one out there that I could find, so now they are. You guys have a great day. See you later.